Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Rants About Tech Live for Monday, January, what is today, 13th, 2024. And we already got people in the chat this morning, so I appreciate you guys being here with me. Today we're just going to talk about the Penstar interview. So I did a Penstar interview at CES, so we're gonna talk a little bit about that this morning. I'm going to take some questions about the products that I'm showing off in that video. And we're also going to just do some random stuff. So today's going to be, we're going to try to keep today's show to an hour because I got to get back to video editing. And I got this My Big Adventure at CES video I'm making. And it's beginning to be bigger than what I thought it was going to be. A lot longer than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I'm getting through all of these, tons of CES footage. Literally tons of CES footage. So we're making my way through all of that. But it's like I said, it's good to see all you guys here this morning for the chat, and let's get to the members real quick. Good morning to Dr. Ling there. Getting the chat going. We got Aaron, aka Mr. Media there. Let's get the air horns going for the members here. Who else we got up in here? We got my brother Larry Goodman in the chat today. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Greg, aka Gregory, is in the chat this morning. I appreciate you. Amanda Wilson. How's it going this morning? Good to see you. We're going to just jump right in. There's a couple notes I took on the video that I made. So the video, no, the Penstar video is not out now. The Penstar video will be out right after the live stream. Unlike the last live stream where I was like, oh, it's going to be out after the live. This one will be out right after the live stream. But I'm going to take questions on the things that I saw there. I'm going to give some information out about the interview that I did with them, and yeah, so we're gonna talk a bit about that. There was an A4 sized eNote at the event at CES. So we're gonna talk about that as well. Let's not do that. So we're gonna talk about that as well. I thought that was the more interesting of all the devices, was that bigger one. I think probably because I had never touched a A4 size device before, so it was just interesting to have that. I have thoughts on it as well, but definitely an interesting interview. This video is gonna be a I mentioned Mr. Mike in the video. I thought it was a good little tidbit to throw in there. You guys will see. You guys know Mr. Mike. He drops in occasionally into the chat, and he's hard up against Penstar. So I thought it'd be funny to throw his name around during the interview. Let's see here. So just a couple notes. I'm gonna pull up some of the video I have. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get that up here first. I was trying to figure that out before, so I have some raw footage that I probably won't use in the My Big CES video, and I ended up not using it in the interview video. So I'm like, okay, I want to show the video off somehow. A4 size is about the size of the Note Max. Good morning, Brian. How's it going? Let's get the air horns going for Brian. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Slight delay between audio and video. I was looking at that. Let's take a look here. 1 second. Pod mic. Yeah, I was taking a look at that. Let's see if I can tackle that really quickly here. It's a setting on the stream that I've changed before in the past, while on stream. But it's a setting that I haven't been able to find since changing it that one time on stream. Let's see if we can find it here. Nope, not gonna happen. All right, you guys. Sorry for the delay. It's something that I can fix, and that I will do something about. Let me just go ahead and write that down here. I meant to do that in a live a few lives ago where it was brought up, but it seemed to have gotten better, but we'll see. All right, so I'm gonna take a look at that audio delay. Um, is it super distracting, you guys? Because if it gets super distracting, we'll take some time. I'll do the be right back button, and we'll take some time to try to figure this delay out because I don't like a delay myself either. And it may be something. Oh, stream delay. There we go. Oh no, I don't want that. Okay, so that delay wasn't what I wanted there. Okay, yeah, I'll figure that delay out. If it gets super distracting, let me know. Like I said, I'll hit the be right back and we'll take care of it. But just real quick, the let's talk about the. Okay, so just some quick notes. I'm gonna try to pull up, like I said, some video while I'm talking about these notes. So let's go ahead and let up. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's see if we can find the files for that. Okay, audio, video. My bad. I should have had this queued up, but it changes when I pull it up, so it's a bit tricky. And I don't think that was it. No, that definitely wasn't it. Okay, I think we can pull that up right there. No, that wasn't it. Nope, that's not it either. Hmm. Oh, that definitely wasn't it. Uh, okay, I'm not gonna be able to pull that footage up apparently. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's because it wasn't up. Let's try it now. Nope, that didn't do it. Wow, I picked everything in this I picked everything in this thing and nothing is the window that I actually want. That's quite amazing. Oh, that is quite amazing. Okay. All right. So I guess it's not in the cards. Um, so what I was planning on doing was showing the Penstar footage that I took from CES. Like I said, that's clearly not going to be possible here. It should just be a quick. I should see the QuickTime player here, but for whatever reason, I'm not seeing the QuickTime player to where I can just show it. I like don't even see a spot for QuickTime. So maybe QuickTime is something I can't pull up, which would be odd. Maybe I need to go application. There we go. QuickTime player. Did that work? Let's pull up another one here. No, it didn't work. Wow. That's interesting. That's super interesting. Oh, it says delay whenever you click that window. Delay is better. Huh? And delay is back. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Now, is delay there when I'm in the main, like my main like shot? And this is like this is a local file shot, so delay is not bad here. Oh, and echo. Oh boy. A delay and echo. I don't want that. All right, so we get a delay and oh yeah, I see it. I saw it. Okay, so I hope we don't get a echo right here. I think I saw what I did wrong there, and that was crazy. I hope I fixed the echo. I haven't fixed the echo on the QuickTime view. Okay. Echo on local, delay on main. Perfect. I got all kinds of things going on. What happened? So no echo now. Good. Thank you. I appreciate you guys helping me work through these stream issues here. There's no echo now, or cool. I fixed the echo. Perfect. The delay is still there though. We can work on that after the stream. Yeah. So the local files is if I can't pick QuickTime for some reason. For whatever reason, QuickTime is not something that I can pop up there. So maybe window. I mean, it is open. Oh, there we go. QuickTime player window. I mean, it's still not showing anything. Absolutely not. You guys got to see that on the video. My bad. Okay, so my bad for taking so long on that. Yeah, that's gonna have to be for a different. That's gonna have to be for a different. Do I have this? Yeah, that's gonna have to be for a different stream. So my apologies, you guys. But what I wanted to do was show the footage that I have in CES that I'm really not gonna do anything with video wise. And what I'll do is I'll get that footage on Google, on my Google Cloud, because it's easy as crap to view this through a browser. So what I'll do is I'll do that. But for now, because I don't have like visuals, I think I might actually have. Let me see if I can get this up here. I think I might actually have. I think I can fix the desktop. No. I think I have some video footage from the Pixel. Bam. Okay. So this kind of works. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I think that's good. We'll leave that there. We won't touch it. So yeah, I think I have some through there. So let's check that out really quickly. Because I'd rather have some illustration of what I'm talking about for this. Okay. All right, so I have some illustration of what I'm talking about here. It's not a good representation, but it's something that we can look at while I'm talking about this. Okay. All right, so yeah. There we go. It's something. Okay. All right, so the first thing is what we got here. Okay, so no echo now, but we still have the delay. I'll fix the delay for tomorrow's stream, you guys. My apologies. But if it's not too bad, we'll push through. So the Penstar rep that I talked to, I'm just gonna say this right now. You guys are gonna see the interview right after right after this live stream here. And the thing is, I wanted to push harder, right? I know some of you are probably going to see the interview and say, I didn't get a chance to ask the questions that I wanted to ask. The reason I didn't ask, any hard questions or the questions I wanted to ask is because the person who I was talking to, thank you, Eli, for doing the interview. I appreciate your time. The person I was talking to, Eli, he didn't work for Penstar per se. He was someone who was hired by the company to be at the show and to disseminate information about the devices at the show. Like he was like hired muscle, as it were. So he wasn't one of the developers, one of the programmers or anything like that for the actual product or any of the actual products. He was like marketing, right? So he didn't know the ins and outs of the device. There was lots that he didn't know, that he was getting information secondhand from the people who were working for Penstar, who were there. And they had some information more than what he was giving out. Because I noticed the book that they had, and they had a whole bunch of like specs and stats in that book. But the interview was a pretty good interview, and kind of displayed what I wanted to show as far as the device and how it works. The device is, because there's multiple. So what we have here is this device here, which is the A4 size Penstar. And A4 size, I was asked by Mr. Media in the chat here. It's like the 13-inch device. But I don't have an exact size for this screen right here. I don't have an exact size for any of the screens that you're going to see in the interview and that I'm going to show on the live this morning. So it's going to be, you can kind of infer what the sizes are. So as far as the 10-inch devices, there's a couple 10-inch devices. I think that those are 10.3 inches. I say that because all of the Carta 1200 and 1300 panels that were not Mobius ended up being 10.3 inches. And the Mobius displays ended up being the 10.67 inch display that the Manta and the Viwoods use. So it wasn't Mobius. None of these displays were Mobius. I know that. And so my conclusion is that they're 10.3 inch displays. I do know the PPI. So the PPI is 300 for all of the displays that I'll talk about. And like I said, all of the panels are also Carta 1200. So none of the panels are Carta 1300, though I'm skeptical about that Pro. And I'll show you why I say that. I think I might be able to show why I say that. The ghosting level on the Pro is to a degree that makes me think that it's Carta 1300. I just, the way it looked. So like I said, this is the A4 sized eNote Max that they have. 300 PPI. It has a button right in the middle there, which is basically a physical home screen. Takes you back to the home screen button. And it has a power button on the bottom right below that home screen button there. Can you see that? Right below that home screen button is let me stop that. Jeez, it's going out of control. Anyway, right below that button is a power button. Good, no echo now. Thank you. I appreciate that, Rock. So on to the other devices here. So this is the Mini. This is the Penstar Mini, and I think I showed a little bit of this on a previous live and talked about it briefly. Another 300 PPI device. This I don't have the screen size on either, but it is smaller than 8 inches. So I think it's a 7.8 inch, if not smaller. I mean, it's definitely not 8 inches for sure. So this is, I think it's about the size of the Nomad. Another Carta 1200 display. No front light on any of these devices. So no front light. They all have touch now though as well. So all of the eNote devices have touch, but only in the Notes app. So you'll only see, not touch, but they all have touch now, but the Notes app doesn't have touch. So touch is everywhere except in the Notes app. So I think that's cool. That I talked to them about adding an option to where you could control that yourself, to where you can have touch everywhere, even in the Notes app, and then shut it off everywhere, even when you're not in the Notes app. So but they said that isn't an option right now. And like I said, I was talking to the rep there, the marketing person that was there. So I wasn't expecting to get a lot of concrete answers on things. Um, I was kind of disappointed when I realized I wasn't going to be interviewing the person who I was in contact with, um, because it sounded like they had hands on the development of the device. But I didn't get a chance to interview that person, even though that person was there. For whatever reason, I was given someone else to talk to. And like I said, appreciate you, Eli. Thank you. But I would definitely have rather have talked to someone that was developing the product. But let's move on here. So like I said, no front light, no color. It does have a digitizer layer, which to me should affect the brightness of the device. But as you'll see on the interview I did with Penstar and at the CES booth, that A4 device, even though it does accept touch, is super white. The background is super white on that device. I mean, it's really nice. All right, and you can go back without the pen with just using that button, but man, that's clutch. This is the most paper-like tablet. All right, I want this. I want it. It's the perfect size. Right. And I also made a comparison on these devices, saying that, and I'm going to take this time to make another correction. I said that no one is making a sub 8-inch device with a writing film on the surface of the screen. I didn't take into account the Viwoods Mini when I said that. So right now it looks like it's the Viwoods Mini. This device, when it comes out, which all of these devices should be out in before fall. So they said before the fall, I guess before next winter. So it's going to be a while before we see these devices. When I get more information, I'll fill you guys in on that. But these devices won't be available for a little bit, another 6 months at least, I think. I'm hoping they work on the software. I'm hoping they take this time to work on the software, because the software seems to be untouched as far as some graphical changes. But as far as how the software acts and manipulates, where you can manipulate items on the screen and your text and your handwriting, it's still a little bit cumbersome like it was before. But I'm thinking that can be worked on. I'm thinking that they'll take this time, and that's what they are working on now, because it seems like the hardware is pretty much set. But let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this. Writing experience, size, you don't need palm ejection in the notes pad section. I'm loving it. All right, let's take a look at. And this is the Pro right here. I don't have video of this. I mean, I do, but not video that I can access right now, unfortunately. So this is the Pro version right here. Let's see if we can get this bigger. All right. So this device right here, as you can see, it has like a metal frame. I mean, that border you see around the device is actually a metal frame. It has the bezels there, right? But it also has that gray frame around it that's actually metal. It almost feels like, well, I've never held a Tab Ultra from Onyx in my hands, but I would imagine this is what it feels like, because it has those squared off edges. It's not rounded at all like the other devices. It's very squared off, like the Tab Ultra product looks. And I'm thinking they're going for the same kind of market with this device as the Tab Ultra, even though this is not a color device. It's packing some specs though. So it has a 2.8. Well, is it 2.8? I think it's a 2.8 gigahertz core, 2.8 gigahertz processor with 8 cores, and 8 gigabytes of RAM for this particular device right here. So it's packing some power as far as I'm not sure what that chipset is, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see that. They also told me that the all the devices can sideload apps from, they say, everywhere. I don't know exactly what that means. I've been trying to get some clarification on that from the actual developers, but that doesn't sound right to me. It's just from what I understand from this particular device. But you can definitely sideload Android apps onto this device for sure. And they talk about Microsoft apps from everywhere. So I'm not sure. We'll have to test that out, because if that's the case with this device, it should be the case with the original device. So I'll do some checking on there to see if that's even possible on the original eNote. But we'll take a look at that. All right, so this is the newest eNote. It does accept hand input, but no hand input in the Notes app, which I think is very important. And the pen clip on the side, I think, is cool too. We talk about that in the Discord a bit. I do like that feature of the eNote series, or the eNote Pro here, because it's not on any other device except for the eNote Pro. I'm digging the new button layout as well. They do allow you finger touch and hand input every other portion of the device, even in the reader. So you can manipulate your PDFs with your fingers. At least I think that's what the case is. So let's go ahead and check that out. A4 size eNote here. This is basically just like the first. This is the Note Max. The software isn't done on this, but the size is pretty amazing. No touch input on this one at all. Just like the first eNote, just pen only. But that's okay, especially if you're just going to write on this thing. Now that background looks super white, you guys. Now this is a rarity in this particular space, where the background is actually whiter than the bezel. I mean, you guys notice that? So even though they have a digitizer added to this, it didn't seem to cut down on the screen brightness at all. And I didn't really realize that till I got home and looked at the footage. I'm like, man, that screen is still whiter than the bezel. And that's awesome. So if they can get the software right for this, because this software is basically the same as the software that's on the original eNote. It feels the same. It looks the same. Although I'm looking here. Okay, so before, the widgets you couldn't change. They were just set there. You couldn't add any, you couldn't manipulate them at all. They were just set. It looks like these widgets can be added and customized, because there are more widgets here than that are on the home screen for the original eNote. So that's something I didn't notice before. So it looks like the operating system is a bit different, not just cosmetically, functionally. At least from the home screen standpoint, they've made some changes, which makes me think they've made some other changes too, which I'm hoping, like I said, that they take this time before the device launches to work on the software. I think that's it. Oop. Yep. All right, so that was a bit of the information I had for the eNote lineup. And I just want to touch on some of the finer points of the interview as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But let's take a look at here. YouTube Studio. Just making sure this video's queued up here. Um, 7:30. Okay. All right. So let's just go over the interview notes I have here before the interview comes out, which should be in about 20 minutes here. So like I said, the Penstar rep wasn't as knowledgeable as one of the developers may have been, so I couldn't really drill down and get into the questions that I really wanted to get into. And that's something you'll probably notice from the video. I wasn't really hard on anyone. I mean, not that my interviewing skills are such that I would be hard on anyone. But I am digging this style of the video, though. I'm going to do more interviews because I've made my mind up. I like the way it looks. I like the way the interviews flow, and I like the information I can get. I like the whole process. So I'm going to do more of these. I am planning a interview with someone from the eInk Corporation. I'm going to visit these guys, so I'm gonna cold email them every day until someone responds to me for an interview. and then I'll let you guys know how that goes. So like I said, I didn't get to go down to the harder questions and to dig into any kind of real detail because of I was pretty much speaking to a marketing rep. And case in point, at some point in the interview, you'll notice that the gentleman confuses PPI with PPI with the resolution, not the resolution, but the PPI with the pressure sensitivity. So we get into a conversation there, and he kind of confuses PPI with pressure sensitivity, and that's when I realized, okay, I can't really go into anything deep because I don't want to set this guy up for failure, and it wouldn't make for a good interview unless the guy actually knew the answers to the questions I was asking. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to go there. They're definitely not willing to discuss the reasons or the reasoning why they chose the specific Wacom technology that they chose. So it is Wacom technology, but it's different. The pressure sensitivity is different, which makes it not compatible with standard Wacom. There are different levels and grades of Wacom. Like they have an artistic grade style or artistic grade level Wacom technology that's made specifically for artists and that use the higher end super sensitive tablets that they write on for professional drawing. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with that. Like I said, they won't get into that. I just happen to know that is a thing within the Wacom technology space. What else we have here? I don't have like screen information of any size. So I don't have any information about the screen sizes of any of these particular devices. Like I mentioned earlier, they just didn't have that information to give me, or they didn't want to give me that information. But thought it was kind of weird that they gave me the what kind of card like display it was, whether it was Carter 1100, 1200, or in the case of the A4, that's Carter 1250, which I had never seen before or heard of before that point. But yeah, they didn't want to talk about, or they didn't give me screen sizes. The touch bar that I mentioned in the video as well. So in the interview, they mentioned a touch bar, and that touch bar is not going to be in the final product, from what I understand. I did get to talk. I get to talk to two of the developers. Well, one was a programmer, one was an actual hardware developer. So I got to talk to two of those actual Penstar employees, but I didn't get a chance to interview any one of those. It was kind of off of the record conversation. And he did tell me that the touch bar that we talk about in the interview won't be there in the final product. Now, whether that will change later on down the line, I'm not sure. But for right now, there is a touch bar on the products, which I think is pretty cool. But they are telling me that won't be there for the final product. All right. I can tell no one cares about eNote. I'm hoping that the interview sparks some interest and conversation in this particular tablet space, just because I'm thinking about it, and I talked about this with Vlad at CES as well. Nobody was there for eInk at CES. Like, none of the big players. You didn't have Ratta there for the Supernote platform. You didn't have Onyx there for the Boox platform. You didn't have Remarkable there for the Remarkable platform. There were just no major players in the eInk space. And I'm just like, why did Penstar think it was important enough to go? You know, it just, when no other player feels like, even eInk themselves felt like it was no need to really go. So I'm super interested in their reasoning, and maybe, like I said, there was no one to talk to about that kind of thing. But I am going to see what they say about these other questions that I have, because I'm still speaking with them through email, and maybe there's a chance for me to get some new information by the time I put my final CES video out, which is just going to be me talking about all the cool things I saw, and just basically bringing all the cool things I saw and putting them in a video for everyone to see. And that was that. And we lost everybody we had. No one. I hope. I really do hope they work on this software for Penstar. Because if they work in that software, we might be having a different conversation when it comes to the eNote. People might care more. Maybe. We'll see. All right, everyone. I'm going to end the stream here. This was just pretty much just me coming on, just basically talking about the video before the video drops this afternoon at 11:30. But it's a cool, like I said, I want to do more of these style of videos where I'm interviewing people, talking about the eInk space, getting insider information about the technology behind these devices that we all love to use for our everyday work and just writing tools. So yeah, any questions? I doubt that anyone's going to have any question about this, but are there any questions about the eInk while we're here, or the eNote while we're here? I do have a bit of information that I haven't put out yet, but that'll all be in the interview video. I'm surprised Mr. Mike, who loves Penstar, isn't here. I'm totally surprised by this. Shocked even. All right. I'm just gonna sit for a few minutes because I know there is a delay. I'm gonna work on whatever the audio delay I have too, so I'll work on that today to try to get that situated and fixed for the next live. Which will have more varied information, but I did want to kind of keep this live to the Penstar info to try to get out as much of that as I could before the interview. What about the? Oh, you know what? There is one thing I did want to bring up, but I may bring that up tomorrow, which was the Reddit. Ed sent me a Reddit post where everyone's talking. Someone made a point about Americans buying products, lots of different products, trying them all, finding the one they want, and then sending the rest back. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. That should be interesting. That should be super, super interesting. All right. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I apologize for the last few lives. If this is post CES lives here, I'm literally just I haven't been able to spend the time that I would putting topics together like I would for a normal live, just because I'm going through so much post CES footage, and I'm trying to get all of that out before it's irrelevant, and get all of these CS videos done and behind me, so I can get back to the regularly scheduled program, which is my commentary and tutorials and reviews on eInk devices. I'm super anxious to get back to that. I gotta tell you, like, super anxious to get back to that. Yeah, so tomorrow we should have a reasonable show. I don't think I have a video coming out tomorrow, but I will be working on the rest of these videos. I got 2 more videos coming out, at least 2 more on CES, and we'll wrap it up with that. But yeah, thank you for joining me today, everyone. I appreciate you coming by. Definitely check out the Penstar eNote video I have dropping at 11:30, which is in about 12 minutes here. And definitely join me tomorrow, 10 a.m. I should be here 10 a.m. sharp tomorrow. Today, getting that video done and out of the door, I'm telling you, it takes me a while to get videos done. I'm nitpicky. You'll see why when you see it. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate you coming through. Thanks to all the members. Thanks to all the subscribers. Thanks for anyone who's watching this, even on the replay. I will catch you all tomorrow. But until then, take care. Peace.